I'm Anthony, and this is Full of Bull, episode number 8. Thank you for checking it out. Today, I want to talk about a couple of books that went up on the social media. A couple of the daily motivations I think are most impactful, and to tell you a story. It's called Measure What Matters by John Doerr. I'm sure I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly. So it's about the goal-setting structure that has allowed Google and other amazing companies to succeed. So it's a structure they call OKRs, Objectives and Key Results. And essentially what it is that everyone in business, everyone in life in general, talks about goal setting. We talk about reaching our goals. We talk about the importance of setting a goal, the importance of making sure that our daily tasks are geared towards that goal. But it's a hell of a lot harder than it sounds. Setting a goal typically takes time, energy, and then when you're done setting that goal, it kind of just sits on the shelf and there isn't much that you do with it after that. So the OKR is designed to get you to a result, and how do you get there on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis. So the objective essentially is a measurable destination. So I use the analogy and explain it to my staff of, let's say that your plan is to go to Las Vegas. You're driving from Phoenix, Arizona. So you either make it to Las Vegas or you don't, right? So let's say that your objective is actually more detailed. Your plan is to make it to Las Vegas without having to stop for gas, and you want to spend less than $500 while you're in Vegas, which is not easy, believe me. So what things do you have to do? What key results have to be accomplished in order for you to actually make that happen? Well, first of all, you have to fill up your tank, right? You would have to make sure that you have the cash to both spend and put gas in your car. You, on your drive, need to make sure that you are driving and getting the mileage out of your car to maximize so that you can make sure you get it there. So the idea is that if you hit your key objectives, your key results, that there's no way you're not going to hit your objective. So let's say that you get the mileage out, you have a full tank of gas, you have the money, you have everything in place, and then you still don't get to your objective. That means that you planned poorly. That means your key results were poor. And the idea is that this is a flexibility that can be taken for company goals, for team goals, and for individual goals. And it's all around results, whereas goals are usually around dreams, aspirations, whatever it is. This is built around results, period. So I've actually instituted with my business. We are working on scaling that up in the next quarter, but the early results are great. It's just causing people to think of things in a whole different way. So anyone who's a business owner, has aspirations of running teams, wants to be a better leader, I highly recommend this book. All right, you might have seen a Tough Love Daily Motivation. If you couldn't tell, it was on a golf course. And what it says is that not quitting is the first step to success. It sounds simple, it sounds dumb, and it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to most people because, oh yeah, well obviously if I don't quit, then I have a chance to succeed. But when you are working and trying to reach a goal, and a goal that seems out of reach, that seems maybe impossible, literally quitting is the easiest fucking thing. And not quitting is the hardest thing. I've been there. I was building a company for 3 years, making $0 essentially, not enough to really live on, just scraping by as I was building this, as every single employee that worked for me was making significantly more money than I was from that same business. And not quitting is the hard part. Grinding through when things are tough, when they seem overwhelming, when they seem like it's not going right and it's never going to go right, that not quitting is what's going to allow you to continue to push through. So when you think about quitting, think about how shitty are you going to feel if you do quit and you look back and say, man, maybe I could have done it. Maybe I could have made it. How many people do you know that have trouble learning from their own mistakes, right? So they make the same mistake over and over, whether it be relationship, work, family, whatever that mistake is. They continue to make the same kinds of mistakes or same exact mistakes over and over, right? And you look at them and say, God, why can't you just learn from your own mistakes? Well, how about take it to another level? So on a Tough Love Daily Motivation, I posted that if you can learn from others' mistakes, you're unstoppable. And it's freaking true. So here's the thing is that when you make a mistake and you learn from it, that's extremely valuable. That's how most of us succeed in life. But if you really want to succeed, you never make that mistake to begin with. So you look at the mistakes that people in front of you have made, people behind you, people next to you, and you say, man, that is a totally avoidable mistake. Now that I know to watch out for that, I shouldn't fucking be doing that. So look at their mistakes. Look what they have failed at. Look where they tripped up and avoid their mistakes. And you are going to be unstoppable, because when you make your mistake and you learn from it, great. But you still tripped up. You still slowed down. You still skinned your knee. You still busted your nose, whatever it is. But if you can avoid making that mistake altogether, and you avoid that pain, that suffering, that heartache, and you're moving on. And you're moving on to the next success, the next step in whatever that success is or that happiness is that you're looking for. So, learn from someone else's mistakes and you're unstoppable. Certain things in my childhood or my life that kind of have put an imprint on me. And one was that when I was growing up, my dad made it very clear that bullying or picking on people was not okay. When he was a kid, he went through a period that he was bullied. You couldn't really tell that because he's a big guy now, but that happened, and so that really made an impact on me. And I value the idea that you don't take advantage of people because they're weaker than you, because they're smaller than you, or because they're in less of a powerful position than you are. And that has really resonated with me in my life. I recall a story when I was in 5th grade. My best friend at the time, he and I were part of a group of friends, and that group had several other groups within it. I remember that he was being picked on because at the time Guess jeans were really popular, and so his parents bought him Guess jeans. But instead of buying him one pair and different kind of pair, they bought him like 3 pairs of the same jeans, like the same exact jeans. And so every single day he was wearing a pair of Guess jeans to school. So finally someone was started making fun of him of why are you always wearing the same jeans? And obviously kids don't care that, I have 3 different pairs. So they were just trash talking to him, kind of going at him. And even though there was mutual friends or mutual acquaintances, I felt the need to step in. He was my friend, and that nonetheless it wasn't right. Now, I thought he was kind of stupid for buying 3 pairs of the same jeans, but that was a separate matter. So I stepped in, and it kind of alienated me from some of those kids for a period of time. And later on, when I was having an issue with one of those guys, where he and I got in an argument, and we're going to fight, the backyard, the school fight. Hey, come fight me. My friend was nowhere to be found. So that kind of reminded me that that not everyone is built that same way, and so that I need to where they're going to have someone else's back when they're going to have their friends back. So it's important for me to instill that in my son. My son is 2.5. He's extremely strong. He gets from his dad. he's kind of aggressive. So one of my main goals is to make sure that he's not a jerk. Make sure he doesn't just, he doesn't bully, abuse, take things from other kids just simply because he's stronger or bigger. And that, he understands the importance of protecting people who don't have the ability to protect themselves. So, that's a battle that, that I'm kind of fighting internally, of making sure that, letting him be a kid, but also making sure that he understands from the get-go that it's not okay to use your will and use your physical stature to just bully other people, and simply because they're weaker than you. I also want him to understand that he needs to defend himself, and he needs to defend other people and have the ability to do that, but that shouldn't be his first course of action. So needless to say, if you aren't a parent, parenting is it's hard. Because you don't know these things that you're doing, how that's going to impact them in the future. And so my goal is that I just hope I raise a kid who is is focused in life, hardworking, isn't doing drugs, because drugs are bad, okay, and cares about people, and doesn't get run over because he's too soft-hearted, but is kind-hearted enough that he has compassion and looks out for people who can't look out for themselves. So anyway, that's just a little bit rant of kind of coming full circle on the way that I look at things. So this has been Full of Bull episode number 8. So by the time this goes up or you watch this, the blog will be live. It is live. I got to do some changes, some edits. It's not going to be the totally finished version of itself. The design is really nice, but there's some tweaks and things I have to do. So if you see any major issues, please let me know. But happinessisagamble.com, www.happinessisagamble.com is the blog. It is live. Please check it out.